LaSalle leads this game 1-0. Welcome back to Domino's Pizza's Strathroy Rockets hockey here on 105.7 myFM. The Rockets trail this game 5-0 after the second period of play, after one bad period there by the Strathroy Rockets. A couple of penalties led to a couple goals, a couple nice goals by the LaSalle Vipers here in this period. And we are so glad to have assistant manager Nick Vandenberk here with us. And Nick, your thoughts here so far on the game, I guess, first of all?
We started off strong, I thought. First period, we were even with them, although it didn't show that on the scoreboard. But I thought we outplayed them in the first period. A couple of mental lapses in the second period led to a couple of goals on their end. And then I'd say the questionable check from behind in open ice there that caused another, power play goal. So.
Now, I guess your role as assistant manager, a little bit about what you do.
Well, Gibby and I work very closely together. It's a job that really doesn't end when the season ends. When the season ends, we're basically preparing for the next season. So I handle a lot of the administrative work when it comes to paperwork for the mini camp in May. We meet with the scouts on a regular basis, usually immediately after the season's over, to get their feel on up-and-coming players and who we need to look at and invite to mini camp. And then from that, we have regular skates for our veterans in the summertime, organizing that, making phone calls, keeping in touch with the scouts, so.
It seems to be a pretty healthy turnover for your team this year. I mean, you have a couple of returners, a few returners here this season, 2 new goaltenders, a couple new players, new pickups this season as well. A little bit about this new version of the Strathroy Rock.
I like it. I think we're grittier than we were last year. We knew we had to get a little bit bigger. We've obviously done that on the back end. Andrew Martin at 6'5". One of our currently injured new defenseman, Jack Van Boekel, hasn't played a game for us yet, but he was injured in the Sault Ste. Marie camp with a broken jaw. He's scheduled to come back in a few weeks. He's even taller at 6'7". So, and then up front, we knew we had to get grittier, more in front of the net style hockey. We've made a couple of what we think are great additions on that end. So,
it looks so far like a good version of the Strathroy Rockets this season. Do you build a team? And I know you help Dan in this case, but do you build a team for the WMMC? Do you build a team for the away arenas? Obviously, your rank's a bit, the WMMC is a bit different than some of the other arenas around here. Do you play for your home rink? Do you play for the league? What do you do?
We do try to style our team over our small barn. Obviously you play half on the road and half at home, but we're there to entertain the fans, so we would like to put a brand of hockey on the ice at home that is in their face, get the fans involved. So it's got to be gritty in there because you haven't got a lot of room to move.
What are you going to be expecting from your captains this year? You have Thornton, you have Dewart, and you have Boyer this year. 3 returning players, 3 players that should bring a lot to this team.
Yeah, Tyler's been in the league now. This is his 4th season. He was a 16-year-old for us, obviously 4 years ago. Nick Boyer and Chase, they bring they're veterans now. We've got Sean Grogan that's also in his last year. He doesn't wear an A on his jersey, but he's a presence in the dressing room. So, with that veteran presence, we expect them to be able to bring in the young guys, make them feel at home, talk to them, tell them what to expect when it comes to Rockets hockey.
Sure. As you continue on this season, the start seems to be something that the town is talking about right now. Is it something that you see as a fluke, or do you see like this is maybe the brand of hockey you're going to be expecting the rest of the season?
We didn't want to put any early expectations on us. We changed over. I think it was 12 players again. Knowing, going into the off season, we had eligible 19 to return. So, we didn't want to put a lot of expectations on the team, especially starting on the road. First 5 on the road. Great start, being 4-0 coming into LaSalle here tonight. I wouldn't say I would have hoped that we'd been above 500. So obviously we're going to be coming home on Saturday night above 500. So we've had one bad period here. hopefully we can put that behind us and put in a strong third to get ready for the next game.
Myself calling St. Thomas Starters Hockey, we did this last season where you went a month pretty much without any home games, and then you come back for your home opener, and pretty much at the end of the month after you've begun the season. In your case, there's no ice, I believe, in the WMMC, if I'm correct there.
Right.
So what is it like to start the season on the road? Do you think it prepares you well for this home opener now, and a good brand of hockey that the home fans will see?
Yeah, I think it does. You know, the players bond well together when they're on the road. So with new guys coming in, they bond right away with the veterans. You know, you do a little bit more on the road. We've had a couple of charity events already this year, walk a mile in our shoes. We've had an amazing race a couple Saturdays ago to kind of bond, do a team building thing for the players. So yeah, they've spent a lot of time together in the first short month here. So we hope going into Saturday that they're going to show that on the ice, that they're going to be able to stick up for each other. And you've seen that today too with you know, Jack Kilgore, the hit on Jack Kilgore, Jordan De Silva coming in to help out his teammates. So
do you what are your thoughts? I don't know how involved you get in this, but obviously community involvement is huge, and I have to commend Strathroy. I think they're one of the best teams when it comes to community support and getting involved in community events. I would love to see other teams do it more. What are your thoughts on community involvement with the team? Do you think it helps?
We think it helps because we are a community-owned team. We have to be visible out in the community. So every opportunity that we have to help out, special needs, whatever, wherever, if we're asked to help out anywhere, we normally do. As long as it's, within reason to help. We've got to give the kids some time off here and there too, because we do have 2 practices a week. This league is no longer a weekend league. We've got weekday games, so we see them 4 or 5 times a week. So, you got to kind of give and take a little bit, but at the very most, yeah, you got to be out in the community to show, and the little kids look up to these players. So.
Well, for sure. You take, for example, here, coming on a Wednesday night to LaSalle isn't always the easiest thing to do. As we continue on here in the intermission here, the Rockets trail this game 5-0 right now. And Nick, I guess finally, to end off on a note, a little bit about yourself. What's your history here in the league, and where do you call home?
I'm from Strathroy. Most of the staff with our organization are from Strathroy. I've been involved with the team now, I think this is my 6th year. I kind of came on board as the point streak operator when it was first introduced into the league.
That's how it all gets started.
I know. People want stats, right? So that's where it starts. That's where I first got involved. My son was actually playing as a 17-year-old in Alvinson, and then he ended up being picked up in Sarnia with the Sarnia Blast that year. I was working with the Rockets and trying to make Brady's games and stuff. So, and then in the off-season, Brady got traded back to Strathroy, so it made a nice and simple transition. And then once Brady's career was over with the Rockets, I stepped in and helped, became assistant GM. So.
Well, Nick, we appreciate you taking the time here in the intermission to sit down and talk with us. It was nice meeting you here for the first time, and nice to have a little chat here in the intermission.
Okay, thanks a lot, Andrew.
Nick, and he is the assistant GM here of the Strathroy Rockets, as we're going to come back to the second period summary. And of course, we'll have the third period coming up next. It is Domino's Pizza Strathroy Rockets hockey on 105.7 myFM.